Cardiff's maths lesson for the 4th of May. So hi again, Year 3. This is our last week on place value. So we'll be moving on after this week. I know we found this quite straightforward and quite easy, which is fantastic. It's because we've done this throughout the year, and this will help us with everything that we do later on. We have covered this many times. So today we're doing comparing numbers. So again, not a tricky step, but let's get going. So question number 1 says, which number is the smallest? Now, it says tick your answer. Obviously, you can write down both and tick one, or you can just write down the smallest number. Up to you how you want to do this one. So which one is the smallest number? Think about which column you need to look at for that question. Okay, question number 2. So which number is the greatest number? So greatest. We've had smallest. So what does greatest mean? Again, write it down or tick. Don't mind which way you do it, as long as you've got your answer and you know which one your answer is. You might want to pause after each page, just so you've got a bit of time to answer. I know a lot of these are quick at first, but later on you might have to pause to do a bit of working out, but we'll see. Okay. Question number 3. So tick the greatest number. Have a look at those two numbers. We have the same digits for each number, but they are worth different values. So have a think. What's the value of those digits? Which one is the greatest number? Okay, number 4 then. So circle all the numbers that are greater than 350. So write down all the numbers that are greater than 350. So those are your options. Write down all of the answers. Don't just write down one, as many as you can find. Number 5 again, so circle the numbers that are less than 718. So all the numbers are less than 718. So you should have a few answers for this one again. Okay, number 6. So you're going to write either the greater than, less than, or equal symbol to make the statements correct. So have a look at the first one. You have got this number, and you've got this number. So would the correct symbol be greater than, less than, or equal to? Up to you. Which one would be correct there? Once you've done that one, have a go at B. So again, looking at this number down here and this number here. Which one is greater than, less than, or equal? Which symbol would you choose? Okay, for C, so here you have got a number written in digits and numerals, and you've also got a number which has been represented in base 10. So firstly, have a look at this base 10. What number is it representing? You might want to write that number down just so you've got it in your head, so you know what you're working with. So once you've done that, then you need to think which one's greater than, less than, or equal to which symbol will you be putting in that circle. So for D, it says, which place value columns did you have to compare for part C? So in the question above, which place value columns do you have to look at to work out your answer? Think about how you can explain it. So you might start your sentence with, in part C, I looked at. Tell me which columns you had to look at and tell me why. So number 7, so write the missing phrase. So you've got some numbers. So you would firstly write the number. So for the first one, you'd write 328, and you would then write is less than or is greater than 344. So I should see that sentence written down in your answer. So making sure that you're using that same wording, so either is less than or is greater than, and then between those two numbers. Make sure you're spelling those correctly. They are there for you, so please make sure you're using the right spelling for that one. Number 8 then. So there are 2 films on at the cinema. You've got Steelman and Arctic Adventure. So down at the bottom we've got our running time, that's how long the film is. So which film lasts the longest? So your answer needs to be a sentence that says either Steelman or Arctic Adventure lasts the longest. So I've given you that sentence stem at the bottom. So please use it. So which one lasts the longest? Okay, so number 9, lots to do on this one then. So I would suggest that we pause for this one, have a good look, write down from A to H, and then think which symbol will go in each of those circles. So which of those numbers is greater, the bigger one, which one is smaller, or are they equal? So have a go at that one. Lots of numbers there for you to get on with. So off you go with that one. Number 10. So what could the missing digits be? Now, this one could take a little bit of time. You might have to do a bit of working out. I know I had to do, I had to write down lots of different answers because there's more than one answer that you could write for these ones. So 621 is greater than something. So the hundreds is the number that you need to be, the digit even that you need to be writing, and 24. So 621 is greater than something and 24. 621 is greater than 604. So think about which digit needs to go in the tens column. And 621 is greater than 620 something. So think about the digit that will be going into your ones column. Once you've done that, have a go at B. So 500 is less than something and 54. So again, think about your hundreds column. 500 is less than 500 and something with a 2. So think about what digit could go into our tens column for this one. And finally, 500 is less than 530 something. So what answers could go in that ones column? Now there are, again, as I say, many different answers to these. Try and write down all the possible answers when you come to the answer page later on. I have given you all the possible combinations that you could have written. So make sure that you have covered all possible bases there. Okay. So number 11. Write all the possible missing digits, so similar to the last question, that could go in these numbers. So 778 is less than 700 and something in the tens and 4. So which digit would have to go into the tens column to make that statement correct? So have a think. It's got to be greater than 778. For B, 778 is less than 700. Again, another digit in the tens column with a 9 in the ones column. So again, lots of different answers to that one. Finally, 778 is less than 770 something. So what will go in the ones column for there? So make sure for those questions that you have worked out all the possible answers, because it has asked you to do all answers. So if this were a marked question in a test, you would be expected to have however many answers you can get. So don't just write one. Okay then. So flown through that today. So let's have a look at our answers. Get ready to mark. Hope I see lots of ticks on your work. Make sure again that you do take pictures and send this work through to myself or Miss Lofthouse so that we can see how you're getting on. Right then. So for our first one, we've got 359 is the smallest because it has less hundreds. 817 is the greatest because it has more tens. 370 is the greatest because it has more hundreds. And again, we've got 700, 396, 400 are greater than 350. For number 5, we've got 634, 715, and 66 are less than 718. For the next one, we were choosing our greater than and less than symbols. So we've got that 372 is greater than 295, 426 is greater than 401, and 257 is greater than 253. So in part C, we were asked to talk about which column even we looked at to solve this one. So for this one, you're going to look at the ones column because if you look at the hundreds column, they've both got 200s. That's the same, it doesn't help us. If you look at the tens column, they've both got 5. So again, that doesn't help us. We have to look at the ones column to be able to compare them. So for question 7, so for A, we've got 328 is less than 344. For B, we've got 916 is greater than 490. and 510 is less than 517. For question 8, Steelman lasts the longest. It is longer by 15 minutes. Right, the next one then. So those are your correct symbols. So you should have that 281 is greater, 452 is greater, 757 is greater, 812 is greater, 1000 is greater, 820 is greater, that G is equal, you just partition that same number, and that 300 plus 90 plus 3, which would give us 393, is greater than 392. Now for 10, again, this is one where you could have put in lots of different answers. So we were given our last 2 digits and we had to find all the hundreds that we could possibly have. So for this one, 621 is greater than 524, 424, 324, 224 and 124. Now obviously you could have also written 24, but the question did have a missing digit in the hundreds column, so I need to at least have something in my hundreds column, which is why I haven't written just 24 there, because it's asked us to fill in the hundreds column. If I just leave it as 24, I haven't answered the question. For the next one, 621 is greater than 614 and 604. Okay. For the next one, the only number it can be greater than is 620. And for B, again, I won't read all of these out because I'll be here all day. So you can see if you've got any of those answers, you are correct. Right, you've got all of those answers. Fantastic. So yeah. Okay, and 11. So our answers for 11, we had 778 is less than 784 or 794. So the 2 possible answers for that one. The next one, 778 is less than 777, 789, 789, 789 and 799. Far too many sevens in this question. And the final one is 778 is less than 779. It's the only answer that you could have had for that one, because obviously the next number would have been 780, which would have changed my tens. Okay then, so that is our first maths lesson of the week done. Quite a nice straightforward one today. We're comparing numbers. It just pays to be careful when you're doing certain questions later on, to make sure that you're looking carefully at your different digit columns to know which number is greater than or less than. Okay, so I will see you in a couple of days' time for your next maths lesson this week. See you then.